You know, Sierra Leone has been dealing with the crisis of Ebola. And last year in 2014, Patty and Allen Morell went there to sort of be the transitional directors, if you will, of the Child Rescue Center and to assist on the ground there. And they very generously gave their time, but they had an agreement they had to come back in the summer for a couple months. Well, then Ebola went to its height. And even at the end of August, with all that information, Patty and Allen chose to get on an airplane and go back to Sierra Leone. They lived in lockdown with the children and created the School of Champions so that education wouldn't be held up.
We just thank you so much for your support of the children and the staff at the Child Rescue Center and the staff at Mercy Hospital and all the patients who come there and all the other people that Mercy touches by going out and doing outreach into the villages. We felt your prayers. I know that you were praying for Ebola to be contained, for nobody to catch Ebola, to none of the CRC people or Mercy people or the children to get Ebola. And we know you were praying for us, and we feel that prayers are powerful, and believe me, we felt them. I also want you to know that the children and the staff of the CRC and Mercy Hospital are praying for you. They are just so happy and just overwhelmed with gratitude that this church and other churches continue to support them, because when Ebola hit, many NGOs left Sierra Leone. You hardly see any international people there, but even the NGOs have just gone away suddenly. And to know that we're in it for the long haul, that Flores and our partner churches in the long haul is really huge. And so we thank you for that. And I also bring greetings from everybody in Sierra Leone, and they just wanted to tell you how much they appreciate you, and the staff and the children all send their greetings. So why do Alan and I continue to return to Sierra Leone? Well, we feel like the kids of the CRC are our family. They're our kids, and so we can't not go. I also, and Alan, believe that you go on mission to grow closer to God. And when we're in Sierra Leone, for some reason, we feel even closer to God, and we see signs of miracles every day. You are all part of an extended family of the CRC and Mercy Hospital, and you're vital to these global ministries there, and they're thriving because of you. And because of you, lives are being changed. They have hope, and you're just reaching more people than we ever have been before. Not only the kids that live in the center, not only the people who are on the outside, our child support program kids live in the community, our foster care families are in the community, but you've heard about the radio program that the CRC started, and that's reaching over 50 miles. So just imagine how many people, how many thousands of people are being touched by a really positive message, a Christian message. It's just been a really amazing thing, and it's because of your generosity and because of your prayers. So we need your continued support for the CRC and Mercy Hospital, and we're so grateful. So what does it look like when you're over there in Bo? Picture about a 20-acre campus where there's Leader United Methodist Church, there's a UMC primary school, there's Mercy Hospital, and the Child Rescue Center has a wall around it with a big gate. And as Tom said, the children and the staff, the resident children and staff, they are in lockdown, and so they're not going out and no one's coming in. And people in the community are mostly staying home because Ebola is a complicated disease to contain in a developing country. There's a lot of mistrust and misinformation. People were initially afraid to go to hospitals if they had symptoms because they thought maybe they'd get a shot that would give them Ebola. And so it's taken a long time for people to really understand what they need to do to contain this disease. And the good news is, as Tom said, Bo is Ebola-free after 42 days, and we're just hoping and praying that the rest of the country will be contained very soon. So Alan's going to tell you some more about what it's like to be in lockdown.
Let me teach you a word today. Munda. Let's say that together. 1, 2, 3. Munda. Munda means you are part of us. You are one of us. And that is a compliment in their language called Minde, in their tribal language. Munda is what you are. You are part of them. You are with them. You are part of the global ministry that is changing lives and even saving lives in Sierra Leone. I say that as a compliment to you. The lockdown situation went to 100 days on December 7th. It goes to 200 days on March 17th. It's a challenge. We started by first confessing and being open about the challenge that we would face. Because what we all knew when those doors were closed, our hope and inspiration would come through your prayers, would come from the Holy Spirit, would come through us going by the disciplines, reading the Bible, going to Vespers, having devotions, and even starting our own church. There is suffering in life, and the Bible talks about that. Tom's about to give you a sermon on that. But suffering brings perseverance. And as a consequence, what we recognized with the children were going to be suffering from not going to school, not going to church, not being with their friends. And as a consequence, what we attempted to do was to use activities, events, times of celebration where they could forget about the gates being closed, where they could focus on God blessing them with good health. We're approaching 200 days. Every child, every staff member, every security guard is Ebola-free. That is a huge challenge. Ebola is a life-draining, energy-tapping, horrendous disease. And what the children knew is that they were in lockdown for a very specific reason. Now, you have to understand the protocols, which are procedures, that were put in place were generated by the individuals in this church. They developed a committee, a medical committee, Helping Children Worldwide led it, and they put guidelines to us for how to ensure we'd stay Ebola-free. But the activities that we instituted, let me tell you about a couple of them. I mentioned the church, I mentioned the school. One of the things we did every Friday was we had sports day. Now, kids need to burn out their energy, and what we did was we had 4 events: running, pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups. Amazing to see the strength of the kids change from 1 to 2 pull-ups to 10 to 15 to 20. The speed that they ran at, they gained confidence in knowing they got stronger. But physical strength is not enough to persevere. Spiritual strength is gained through using the instruments you said over in the past: guitar, recorders, and chimes. We put those all to good use. We broke out the bicycles and had bicycle day and bicycle hour almost every day. They hadn't had a chance to do that. We started a garden, very important. We planted 19 plantain and banana trees, harvested bananas and plantains, got greens from the garden, had corn, had cassava leaves. All the effort to keep their minds focused on the blessings they receive and not their suffering. They are persevering. They know you're praying for them. I talk about men's Bible study. I talk about you. You are Munda. As you go today, never forget that. God bless you all.